Hello, Royally Quack fans, and welcome back to our Trade Deadline podcast. I'm coming to you live from my Menifee studios. Well, I'm going to go with Kelly Rudy this week. Kelly Rudy Studios. Yeah. How's it going, Cody?
I'm doing good from the Guy Bear studio.
It's a goalie special day. It's Friday. The trade deadline is just finished. I'm going to give you the update on that because if we don't do it tonight, tomorrow we'll be on all day.
Yep.
So it was an exciting day today, wasn't it, Cody?
It was a very exciting day. I was literally on YouTube on the live stream for the daily face-off. So they had Frank Saravalli. I know with Ducks News, I never trust him, but with everything else, he is really good and stuff like that. And I didn't know that 32 Thoughts was doing the same thing. Otherwise, I would have listened to that one instead. So the whole day, I was literally just listening to everything that happened live that was going on. So,
well, it's the first day of my vacation, people. I'm usually working at this time, so and next, we're gonna have our podcast for you live tomorrow, probably somewhere around 4:00. I'm doing something special with the seniors over in Sun City. I'm doing their chair volleyball and officiating for them. Something I do once a year. Otherwise, we'd have our normal time at 10:00.
Yeah.
But next week, the following Saturday, right at 10:00, I'll be coming to you live from Mike Madonna Studios in Texas. Yeah.
Or would it be the spoiler alert Mikko Rantanen?
No, I'm not going to do that. He didn't want to come to the Kings.
He didn't go to the Ducks either. So,
well, I heard he vetoed a trade
to the
I don't know if that's true or not, but I saw that.
Interesting. So, I think that could have been Toronto, though, too.
He vetoed Toronto?
I mean, taxes and stuff like that.
Oh, no, taxes in California.
Yeah, but
eats you up.
Are the that and big market, big entertainment, usually players tend not to like those kind of things. So
yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah. So, all right, let's get this party started. We're gonna go back to March 1st, just to kind of. I would say this was probably the first big trade, in a way, a week before the deadline. We talked about this on the podcast, but we can go over it really quick. But on March 1st, this happened March 1st, but we did talk about it. The trade between the Colorado Avalanche and the New York Rangers.
Yeah.
This trade involved the Colorado receiving Ryan Lindgren, Jimmy Vesey, and Hank Kempf. And in return, the Rangers got Juuso Parssinen, Calvin DeHaan, a 2025 second round pick, and a 2025 fourth round pick. Both of them are conditional. Colorado sends the better of Carolina or New York's Rangers second, whichever one is better between the two. And it's kind of like the same thing with the fourth one, but it's between their own or Vancouver's 2025 fourth round pick.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, the next one, the Minnesota Wild get Gustav Nyquist from the Nashville Predators for a 2026 second round pick.
Yeah.
So sometimes it surprises me a veteran for a draft pick. I mean, the guy's already playing in the NHL. I guess you're just dumping salary, or he's not in the plans anymore. I just don't always get how they do those things.
As I've always said, it makes sense if you don't think about it.
I guess I'm not going to think about it.
Yeah. But this next trade, this happened while I was at the Chicago Anaheim Ducks game in Anaheim. And it's funny because I actually broke it to a few fans. But the Chicago Blackhawks trade Seth Jones and a 2026 fourth round pick to the Florida Panthers, and Chicago receives Spencer Knight and a 2026 first round pick. And it's a conditional. It slides to a 2027 if Florida does not have a 2026 first round pick. So I don't know. I don't know if that was actually met or not. I actually don't know. Well, we'll find out later when we cover more trades. But yeah, I would say this trade, the Chicago Blackhawks GM did a really good job with this one because Seth Jones only gave 2 teams that he was willing to go to. Oh, and also the Chicago is retaining $2.5 million for the next 5 years on Seth Jones's contract. But still, to get that return, it was for only giving 2 teams. Kyle Davison did a really good job on this trade.
Well, they got Chicago got a future number 1 goalie.
Yeah. So
I mean, I know he's had injury plagued start to his career, but man, was he highly sought out.
Yeah.
You know, he was a star for the World Juniors.
Yeah.
You know, that final year he played in that. So, well, let's go to March 4th then. How about that one, Cody? We had a 3-team trade. The Edmonton Oilers got Trent Frederick, Max Jones, and Peter Hauser. The Boston Bruins got Max, is that Warner?
Yes.
One of those. Okay. And a St. Louis Blues 2025 second round pick, and the Oilers 2026 fourth round pick. And the New Jersey Devils get Shane LaChance.
Yeah, the New Jersey Devils retained on Frederick's deal, so that's why they got Shane LaChance's. I believe it's NCAA. I can't remember. But they got the rights to him, so it's not an actual player; it's the rights to him.
Well, he's actually a player, but he's just not an NHL player yet.
Yeah,
they actually got the rights to him, not the actual player. I get what you mean. Yeah.
Yep. So, I would say former Duck Max Jones, by the way.
Yeah, that's
now
true.
He's back in the Pacific Division. So
we're gonna play with Henrique.
Ooh, I don't know. That's a good question. So, but I would say good move for Edmonton. I believe they needed another depth winger and stuff like that with Trent Frederick. So all around good move. And God, Boston were big sellers, and there's more on that later.
Yeah, they're rebuilding.
Yeah,
they're rebuilding, not retooling. They're rebuilding. They have to because they've given away the bank, a lot of the bank at least. So.
Yep. And then on March 5th, the Florida Panthers traded right winger Patrick Giles to the San Jose Sharks, and in return, the Panthers got goalie Vitek Vanacek to back up Bobrovsky since Spencer Knight got traded. And we got our first comment from Frankie the Yankee. Bruins isn't doing shit.
Yeah. Well, you know what? They just 2 years ago weren't they like the number 1 team?
Yeah, they had the best record.
Record, everything else, and you know they still have some talent on that team, but it's just not playing well. I mean, sometimes it's chemistry. It's chemistry teams win. I mean, look at how. I mean, really, the Kings in 2012 and 2014 weren't the team with the best players, but they had the best chemistry.
Yep.
And, you know, and that's a big thing that you just always don't know with draft picks and drafting players. You can think they're going to fit, but maybe they don't. I mean, look at Dubois last year. Now look at him in Washington this year. He's thriving in Washington, and he floundered in Los Angeles. So it was a good move for him. And I think Kemper, until just lately, has been stellar for the Kings. So it was an even trade on that one.
Yeah.
Of course, that's an old trade. Well, let's go
Oh, Frankie also put no trades, no wins. We completely trash. History season wasted. And also he put, we suck since we lost our best goalie. Olmark.
I got that.
Yeah.
Since they still have Swayman. Okay, so on March 5th, we had
This
another
was a big trade.
big trade, 3-team trade between Tampa Bay, Seattle, and Detroit. Tampa Bay received Yanni Gourde, Oliver Bjorkstrand, a 2026 fifth-round pick, and left D. Kyle Coin?
Your guess is just as good as mine.
Seattle received ex-King Mikey Eisema, and you know what? It's I think it's is it Easymont? I thought it was Icymont, but anyways,
Sure.
Anyways, he played with the Kings. I always liked and watched him play, and he's made himself an NHL player. I mean, he's not, he's a bottom six guy. But Seattle also received Tampa Bay's 2026 first round pick, their 2027 first round pick, and then it looks like Toronto Maple Leafs 2025 second round pick. Both those were conditional. Cody, do you have those conditions?
Yeah, the 2 first round picks are both top 10 protected.
Okay. And then Detroit, obviously, they took some salary.
Yeah, I think it was half, I believe.
Because they got Tampa Bay's 2025 fourth round pick, and that's also got stipulations behind it. Do you have that? I don't have that.
Let's see. Oh, if you go to like the little asterisk, it kind of tells you. The Detroit one, they received the highest selection between Tampa Bay or Edmonton's 2025 fourth round pick. Yeah, you just got to hover around it, and it tells you.
So, if you watch,
Detroit retained 25% of Yanni Gourde's contract, and I believe Seattle also retained 50% of Yanni Gourde's contract, so they got him for
25%.
Yeah.
Solid proof that an old dog can learn new tricks live on Royally Quacked, because I just learned something today.
Yeah, but look, this should just tell you Tampa Bay's ready. They're one of the hottest teams right now, and they're stacking up. And Yanni Gourde is doing his second stint in.
Well, it's funny because we did the predictions with Eric early in the season.
Mm-hmm.
And who did I say was going to be ahead of Boston? And you both disagreed with me.
Yeah.
And look, and they're bulking up for the playoffs, and they've got a good team.
No, they do. And I think them not re-signing Stamkos and getting Gensel's really paid off.
Oh, Gensel's a sniper.
Yeah. But all right. Also that day, the San Jose Sharks and the Pittsburgh Penguins made a trade. San Jose receives right-handed defenseman Vincent Desharnais, and then Pittsburgh received a 2028 fifth-round pick for that.
Okay.
And then this next trade made no sense to me whatsoever.
And that was between Nashville and Pittsburgh. Nashville received left wing Michael Bunting and Pittsburgh's 2026 fourth round pick, and Pittsburgh got center Tommy Novak and right defenseman Luke Shen.
Yeah, this trade made no sense to me. Bunting's hurt. So this one doesn't really make all that much sense to me. Like, two teams that are not making the playoffs, I don't understand this trade.
Maybe it's got future plans with it. We don't know.
Yeah.
So.
Do we want to talk about our own team trades, or do we just want to say that for?
Why don't we go ahead and do that? Because tomorrow we'll cover the games. We'll cover other league news.
Okay.
And we'll do our predictions. I mean, since we're doing this,
Okay.
Maybe we could make it a little shorter tomorrow so people can have fun on their Saturdays.
All right. Well, the Ducks did exactly what I wanted them to do. The one thing I wanted them to do, as much as I loved Brian Dumoulin on the team, but there was just a huge log jam on the defense. Either Zellweger or Minchikov were always being healthy scratched. Now we shouldn't have that issue since Brian Dumoulin got traded. And I just found out today he was the team DJ for the Ducks. And apparently Ryan Strome said he is the best DJ he's ever had his whole career. So Brian Dumoulin got traded to the New Jersey Devils. In exchange, the Anaheim Ducks receive a conditional 2025 second round pick and right winger Herman Traff. I'll try to talk more about him tomorrow. I got notes about him, so I'll try to get that more ready for tomorrow. But the condition on the trade on that pick is Anaheim receives the better of Edmonton or Winnipeg's 2025 second round pick.
Well, that will depend on the playoffs.
Yes, well, that's how most of them are.
Yeah.
But all around, really good return. We spent a fourth rounder to get Dumoulin. He helped us on defense. And honestly, if we didn't have the logjam, I would have been A-okay with the Ducks re-signing him. And apparently he didn't want to leave, which I'll go more about that tomorrow as well. But there was some extension talks from what I heard. But all around, I think this was the right move right now. I mean, we can always re-sign him if we make a big trade in the offseason. We'll see what happens. So,
okay.
But
another trade on March 6th was between San Jose and Florida. Florida was busy. And so was San Jose. San Jose got Florida's 2026 fourth round pick, and Florida got center Nico Sturm and the San Jose's 2027 seventh round pick.
Yeah.
And Nico Sturm is a serviceable center. Probably bottom six, right?
I would say definitely bottom six, yes.
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely on Florida.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So.
Exactly. So. And then next one on March 6th, the Vegas Golden Knights and the New York Rangers make a trade. The trade is the Vegas receives right winger Riley Smith again in exchange for left winger Brendan Brisson and San Jose's 2025 third round pick. So this was just more, and I believe they New York retained 50% as well.
Okay.
So,
well, Florida's busy again. They trade. This is a goalie trade between Florida and Winnipeg. They trade Capo Kakkonen to Winnipeg for Chris Driedger.
Yep.
Straight up.
Goalie trade. Yep. I mean, there's really nothing else to really go on that. So,
well, they're backups.
Yeah. Next one. This one happened pretty late, I believe, last night. The New York Rangers and the Vancouver Canucks make a trade. New York Rangers received left defenseman Carson Soucy in exchange for San Jose's 2025 third round pick. Wow, they have another third round pick? Oh, I got it. Never mind. It was the trade that involved with the Riley Smith and Vegas one.
Mm-hmm.
So the New York Rangers received the San Jose 2025 third, and then they used that pick to go get Carson Soucy. Boom. That's what makes sense now.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we got Boston and Minnesota, and we've got some fun names. This is going to be fun. See how bad I can wreck these names.
Honestly, I couldn't even help you with that first one.
Boston gets center Merit Knutsenut.
Yes.
And left winger Jacob Lacko, and Boston's 2020 How did they get Boston's 2026? It must have come back to them.
I think
Okay.
they made. I think maybe they traded that one. I'll have to. Oh, actually, hold on. Let me see if I could look. Keep going.
Anyways, so they got their own 26th round 2026 sixth round pick back, and Minnesota receives Justin Brazeau.
Brazeau.
Brazeau, yes.
Yeah. Let's see.
Are you still looking that up? You want me to do?
Yeah.
You want me to do the next one while you're looking that up?
No, that's fine. I was just curious. All right, how do I go back? All right, here we go. Give me a second. All right, we are.
Time's
All
up.
right. This was probably one of the top trades for the trade deadline. This I think was technically 9 o'clock on the West, midnight Eastern time, but Colorado get their second line center.
Yeah.
Colorado receives center Brock Nelson and right winger Willem Dufour. And I can tell you, the Islanders did a good job on this trade. They receive, I would believe, the top prospect for Colorado, Callum Ritchie, and he plays with, I believe, with Beckett Seneca on the Oshawa Generals, and a 2026 first round pick, and then a 2028 third round pick, and then left defenseman Oliver Killington. Let's see. The Islanders receive this pick if Colorado wins the 2025 Stanley Cup and Brock Nelson plays in at least 50% of the playoff games. The third round, the Islanders receive this pick if Colorado wins so if Colorado wins the Stanley Cup, they get the first and third round pick. So makes me wonder if Colorado doesn't win, I think it's just Callum Ritchie they get back.
Well, not just Callum Ritchie, but also Killington.
Well, if you look at the next trade, you'll kind of see why.
Oh, there it is. Oop, there it is.
So since the Ducks one, I'll do this one real quick.
No.
Go
ahead. No, go ahead.
So Oliver Killington had a brief time in New York. Then he got shipped off to Anaheim. So Anaheim receives left defenseman Oliver Killington in exchange for, and this saddens my heart again, future considerations. A bag of pucks.
A bag of pucks. Must be a really good player.
Yeah, if you consider it, I salute you. Thank you for your time here in Anaheim. But pretty much Oliver Killington is going to be our seventh defenseman. I swear to God, if he is anything more, Verbeek and Cronin, I want them out. They're done with. I'm done with them.
And that was the first the first trade for today. That trade,
I guess
right there.
so. Technically,
Anaheim was part of the first trade for today.
Yeah,
the
I didn't even
second
realize
trade, the dreaded Edmonton Oilers. I think they get stronger.
Yeah,
they made a trade with San Jose Sharks. They got left defender Jake Wallman, up and coming offensive defenseman. I like him.
Jake Wallman?
I think I have him on my fantasy team. He's a player. He was hurt. I had to let him go, and then when he came back from the injured list because he was IR for a while, I got him back. But San Jose gets center Carl Berglund, and then the Edmonton Oilers 2026 first round pick, which top 12 protected, becomes unconditional if Edmonton trades their 2027 first round pick before the deadline. Interesting.
Yeah.
That's why you need lawyers.
That's why you need smart peoples.
Yeah.
All right. Next trade, the Washington Capitals receive from Pittsburgh another rivalry trade. Washington receives left winger Anthony Beauvillier in exchange for the Capitals' 2025 second round pick to Pittsburgh. So I believe it's just middle to bottom 6 depth, pretty much. I would say more bottom 6 depth for the forwards. So
Okay. So it looks like Ottawa's trying to load up to just so solidify themselves into the playoffs. They make a trade with Buffalo, and Ottawa receives center Dylan Cousins, who he was kind of sought after.
yeah,
Left defender Dennis Gilbert, and
Gilbert.
I like Gilbert better.
All right, fine.
And then Buffalo's 2026 second round pick, while Buffalo receives center Josh Norris and right defender Jacob Bernard Docker. Then I guess I'm taking the next one.
Go for it.
The Kings and Philadelphia make a trade, and the Kings get left winger Andrei Kuzmenko for a 2027 third round pick. And a lot of people, he's a left winger, but he's right-handed. The Kings have one right-handed forward right now, and that's Alex Laferriere. So, and he's also a power play guy, so he might be go right to the number one power play. We'll, I guess, find out tomorrow.
Kuzmenko's salary is also 50% retained by Philly.
Yeah, got that for a third round pick. It makes a difference because the Kings are floundering right now. They're floundering. Yeah. They need some help.
All right, we can do these next two trades kind of together in a way.
Okay.
So the next one, Winnipeg gets some more for depth on the defense, which I would say good depth. Winnipeg receives right-hand defenseman Luke Shen in exchange for Winnipeg's 2026 second-round pick and 2027 fourth-round pick. And then I'll let you take the next one.
Okay, so that's the second time he's been traded.
Yeah. I don't think Nashville wanted to do a trade in the division.
Oh, okay. So the next one between Winnipeg and Seattle is Winnipeg receives left winger Brandon Tanev for Winnipeg's 2027 second round pick going to Seattle. Everybody's loading up for the last drive into the Stanley Cup playoffs here. And there's some teams really strengthening their chances. Maybe more than I've seen in a while. I mean, it's wow.
Yeah. Next up, the Toronto Maple Leafs get their center that they've needed. Scott Lawton gets traded to Toronto, and also Philadelphia's 2025 fourth round pick and 2025 sixth round pick in exchange for Nikita Grabinkin and a top 10 protected 2027 first round pick from Toronto. So that was the trade between Philly and Toronto. Scott Lawton gets to go where he wanted to go because originally he said he would like to go to Toronto. And I don't know if you saw this or not, but earlier this week, Scott Lawton, I haven't seen the picture. I got to look it up. He posted on social media that they did like a Last Supper kind of thing as a joke. Before, because it was like his last road trip with the team he was expecting. Like I think he knew he was going to get traded, so it was like a joke in a way.
Oh,
so
interesting.
Yep.
Okay.
And then this next one is I would say the trade of the day.
Yeah. The Dallas Stars get right winger Mikko Rantanen from Carolina for right wing Logan Stankoven, a 2026 first round pick, a 2028 first round pick, a 2026 third round pick, and a 2027 third round pick. That's
and Rantanen signed a 8-year deal, 12 million AAV for not only that's a total of what's his jersey number? 96 for 96 million.
yeah. So he's gonna pull a Crosby on us, huh?
I guess so. But do you think Carolina did good in this trade?
Well, what I mean, I like Stankoven.
I
He's young.
do
He's
too.
he's young. He's a good player, but he's not Mikko Rantanen.
No.
And those first and third round picks are going to be later because Dallas is going to be maybe a favorite. Them and maybe Colorado.
Yeah.
I mean,
I would
they
say so.
really loaded up. I mean, you got a top 5 player in hockey for that.
Yeah.
And that's a lot to go back. I mean, time will tell more than anything else because, I mean, look how some of these guys who are later first round picks or third round picks become superstars.
Yeah.
You know, it does happen. I mean, what was Troy Terry? He's the best player on the Ducks right now. He was a what 5th round pick?
5th round pick.
So, you know, people go, oh, well, they only got our 5th round pick. Yeah, but that was Troy Terry, and he's their number 1 player on that team now.
That
You
is
know,
very true.
I mean, that's as an example.
Yeah.
An example. So, and the next trade is, I think, a big trade.
Yes. Someone, and when I was listening to the live stream on Daily Face Off with Frank Cervelli, he was shocked that this trade happened because Charlie Coyle was not on his trade board. So, but Charlie Coyle gets traded to the Colorado Avalanche. And going back to Boston is center Casey Middlestat, left winger William Zellers, and Avalanche's 2025 second round pick.
Yeah,
Wow.
well, you know, Charlie Coyle was been really awesome with Boston for the last couple of years, but he's 33 years old. I think Middlestat's only like 26. I don't know.
Yeah, but
I mean, Colorado's trying to win the Stanley Cup.
yeah,
That's what I see. Colorado, Dallas are all they're big buying. Hopefully going to win because they're giving away a lot of their future. So we'll see what happens.
Casey Middlestat wasn't really working out in Colorado. Then Colorado went and got Brock Nelson to be their 2C. And then Charlie Coyle came in, and I think to make the cap work and everything, they had to get rid of Casey Middlestat because Casey Middlestat's not a third line center. So, and we got
Coyle can play forward, so he may not play center.
And then from our network, Elite Sports and Entertainment Network said, "What's that?
What's up?"
God, I haven't heard that since I was in middle school. What's that? But all right, this next one was really a nothing trade, but I believe it's your turn to cover this one.
Didn't I just do Casey?
Nope,
No, you did.
I did that one.
I was so into it, I thought I did. So Detroit and Chicago had what Cody said, a trade. It wasn't a big trade.
Yeah.
Detroit receives right wing Craig Smith and goalie Peter Mrazek. And Chicago gets center Joe Veleno, whatever. It was a nothing trade, so it doesn't matter. You already hammered those guys. I could butcher their names. They'll be more mad at you than me.
What up, Jay?
Hey, Jay. What's happening?
All right. Well, if you guys are listening, tell us what your favorite trade was, and if your team did what you wanted them to, or or they disappointed you like the Kings did to my dad.
Well, we still have a few more trades.
Yes. Next up, the Columbus Blue Jackets trade with the San Jose Sharks. The Jackets get center Luke Cunnin in exchange for the St. Louis Blues 2025 fourth round pick.
I get the fun one, don't I?
Oh yeah, we got a Hall of Famer
We
in
got
the
a
trade
Hall
too.
of Famer in the next trade.
He's already and he's in the Hall of Fame already, and he's getting traded. Think about that, everyone.
Yes, I think it's the second or third time he's been traded. Second time?
I want to say it's been
Second? I meant after he
Oh,
stopped playing.
oh.
He's been traded because
He went to Vegas. He went to Arizona, now Utah,
and now Chicago. Oh God, it's
and
been
now
more.
Chicago.
I hadn't realized it was that many. Well, anyways, Utah receives Chicago's 2026 fifth round pick, and Chicago receives right defender Hall of Famer Shea Weber, right defender Victor Soderstrom, and right wing Aku Ratty or Ratty. I like Ratty.
So he got traded to by Nashville to Montreal, and then in June of 22 he got traded to the Vegas. Then in February of 2023, got traded from Vegas to Arizona, now Utah, and now Utah to Chicago.
There you go.
Ta-da!
Bulletin. Luke Robitaille has just been traded by the Kings.
Why did it take me all the way here? Huh? There we go. All right, where are we? Oh, we're almost done.
New York and Buffalo.
New York and Buffalo. All right.
Another big trade.
Another huge blockbuster trade, everyone. The New York Rangers and Buffalo make a trade. New York receives right winger Nicholas Aube-Kubel in exchange for left defenseman Eric Brandstrom. Bum, bum, bum. But yeah, I would say just a def trade for each team, pretty much.
Yeah. Here's another big trade between the New Jersey Devils and the New York Rangers. Islanders. The Devils get left defender Dennis Cholowski, and the Islanders get left winger Adam Beckman.
Yep.
And your ex-Duck Daniel Sprong's in the next one. I mean, how many times has that boy been traded?
I could look it up.
Don't.
Nope, too late. I'm there. Transactions. Oh boy, I don't even think. In 2023, he signed a 1-year contract with Detroit, and then June 20th, 2024, signed a 1-year contract with the Canucks. Traded by Vancouver to Seattle of November of 2024. On January 8th, he got placed on waivers, and on January 9th, loaned. He cleared waivers, and now, boom, he's now a New Jersey Devil. Yeah. So Daniel Sprong is now a New Jersey Devil, and Seattle gets back in return the Devils' 2026 seventh round pick. Another big blockbuster trade, everyone.
Well, the next that's a bigger trade.
I would say this is probably the second or third biggest trade.
I'm shocked by this, but Boston and Florida, same division.
Yeah, and
Florida
Boston's
gets
captain.
Yeah, captain. Florida receives left wing Brad Marchand from Boston for Florida's 2027 second round pick, which is it becomes a first round pick if Florida qualifies for the 2025 Eastern Conference Finals and Marchand plays at least in 50% of the playoff games. If Florida does not own their 2027 first round pick, Boston instead receives Florida's 2028 first round pick. That's why you need attorneys.
That's why you need people that read the terms and conditions.
It's crazy. Some of this is crazy.
Yeah. Next up, Boston and Buffalo make a trade. Boston receives right-handed defenseman Henry Yokoharu, and in return, Buffalo receives Edmonton Oilers 2026 fourth round pick.
Here you go.
Hmm.
And I guess I got the last one of the day.
There's two more left.
Is there?
Just yeah.
I don't have any more, but I'll do this one. I don't see any more.
There's two with Toronto.
Well, I got the one with Toronto.
Okay.
They receive Pittsburgh's 2025 fifth round pick for center Connor Dewar and right defenseman Connor Timmins.
That was as what we call a money transaction, because the next trade, Toronto receives from Boston a right-handed defenseman Brandon Carlo. In exchange, Boston receives center Fraser Minton, which was a top prospect for Toronto's 2027 first round pick, and then Philadelphia's 2025 fourth round pick.
Why do I not see that one?
That's a good question. But yeah, Brandon Carlo has some term, so that's why they made this trade. Let's see. I mean, we went over all the trades.
There it is. I just had to refresh it.
I guess we can go over. Let's just go over, just quickly go over while we're live. One last thing we got to do tomorrow, because there's a bunch of signings. We can knock it out pretty quick.
You want to? Is this on our notes?
No, if they are, I'll take them off later.
Okay.
But just go to transactions and then go to signings on cap wages. And then we'll start from, I believe it is, we're only going to do the main ones. We did the Nemestikov one.
God, there's a whole ton of them, dude.
All right. You want me to just do it real quick then?
Sure.
All right.
I'll sit back and relax.
I'm only going to do the ones that are, I would say, big ones.
Okay.
A lot of them are just extensions and stuff like that. So the Utah and Olimata make a deal. Olimata signs a 3-year deal valued at $10.5 million. So it's $3.5 million AAV. So he gets extended. Next one we have goalie Charlie Lindgren with the Washington Capitals. He signs a 3-year deal worth $9 million, which is a $3 million AAV, which is crazy because Washington now has 2 goalies and still $2 million less than what Bobrovsky makes in a year.
Okay, I'm with you on that. And so, like, the next one you're going to talk is about Karel Vejmelka. He signs with Utah, 5 years, $23,750,000.
I mean, yep, we can do that.
4.75.
The next one I was going to
season.
talk about was the Matthew Olivier one with Columbus. He signed a 6-year extension worth $18 million, $3 million AAV. I like Olivier.
Oh, okay.
So.
Okay.
And then so Karel Vejmelka did sign a 5-year deal, $23.75 million, like my dad said, $4.75 million AAV. Next up, Jordan Greenway signed a 2-year deal, $8 million overall, worth $4 million AAV. Next one, not a big one. Jesse Pugliavari. He's been around, I can tell you that.
Yeah, he was from Edmonton.
Yeah. Now he signed pretty much a league minimum with Florida. So maybe a little 4th line, 3rd line, depth piece or 13th forward.
That's not a big one, though.
Yep. But here's one that really changed the trade deadline. I would say Jake Evans and the Montreal Canadiens come to an extension. 4 years, 11.4 million overall, 2.85 million AAV.
Yeah.
You want to do the next one, Ian Cole?
Sure. Ian Cole signs with Utah, 1 year, 2.8 million.
Yep. Well, that was pretty easy.
Yeah.
Next one, Utah also signs an extension with Alex Kerfoot, 1 year, 3 million.
See, a lot of these after him are all minors.
Then, all right, here the next big one I would say.
Wyatt Johnson.
Yep, Wyatt Johnston signs an extension. He gets 5 years, $42 million, 8.4 million AAV.
Yeah.
And then former Duck, who was part of the Jacob Trouba trade, Urho Vakanainen, signs a 2-year extension with the New York Rangers, 3.1 million overall, with a cap hit of 1.55 AAV.
Then the biggest signing.
Yep.
After the trade line, Mikko Rantanen signs an 8-year, 96 million, 12 million AAV with Dallas. And that makes Dallas so dangerous because one thing they're lacking is offense, and he's a top 5 offensive player. Incredible.
Yeah. And then last one is Jason Zucker signs a 2-year deal with Buffalo, 9.5 million overall for a 4.75 AAV. So that is pretty much it for all the signings and trades this season.
There you go, fans. So there are a lot of signings, a lot of trades. The Ducks didn't make a big splash.
No, but they traded Dumoulin. I'm happy with that. Like now Zellweger and Minty play every game. Killington only comes in if someone needs a rest. So
let the kids play.
Amen to that.
Well, we're gonna see. Maybe the Kings. Maybe sometimes these middle of the pack players like Kuzmenko, they come in and make a difference with the team. We'll see what happens. The Kings need something.
Yep. But all right, well, we're gonna head off, but we'll see you guys again tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we'll go over the recap of the last week of Ducks and Kings games and news. So, we already took care of all the trades. So tomorrow will be hopefully a little bit of a smaller stream for you guys. So, but if you guys have any questions, please send it our way. Please go follow in the description. We got our link tree and our network's link tree and everything. So please give us a follow everywhere, and please leave us a rating and a review on your favorite podcast platform. And you got anything else to say, Dan?
Yeah. Please, Kings, go. Go, Kings, because this last week has been, as you'll find out tomorrow, very rough week for us.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, last off, let's go Ducks, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one, everyone.
Night.